Hey, what's up, YouTube? It's me again. I wanted to make a video on my 1950 Ford Coupe Custom, and I was looking on YouTube and I could not find anything on a disc brake upgrade. So I decided to make my own. What led me to do this was my master started to leak, and this of course happens right after I get a brand new engine, so I got stuck and I can't enjoy it for the summer, which is okay, not a big deal. Actually gives me an excuse. I was thinking about it if I should go with just a stock, under the frame, or if I should just go ahead and do a disc brake upgrade. Well, I decided to do a disc brake upgrade because I want to take this thing on a little farther, take it to shows, take it, up and down, um, just different places, and on the freeway, and not be scared if something comes out in front of me. And I think it'd just be a better setup now that I got some horsepower in this, which you guys know I have a 383 stroker. So I'll be making a couple of videos. I will be breaking this down. I'm not sure if I'll be able to put this all in one video, but if we have a couple of parts, we'll have a couple of parts. But I'll try to be as thorough as I can. I'm actually going with one sec. I am actually going to go with a firewall mount. I think it'll be a little easier to bleed, a little easier to service, and yeah, I just think it'll be better overall. I will be getting rid of this vent, give me a little more room. Even though it does work, I don't really care for it. Might have to move my little fuse panel there, which won't be a big deal. There's not too many circuits in this car. And yeah, I'm thinking just have it there, and if for some weird reason I need to get the valve cover off or access, anything like that, it'll just be a matter of moving the booster out of the way, which I'm willing to live with, rather than getting under the floor and having all that stuff. If you guys have ever done any service under the floor on these frame-mounted Masters, you'll know exactly what I'm talking about. So yeah, let me pause this and... Okay guys, I wanted to show you the kit that I got. This was actually a no-name eBay score, and it comes pretty nicely packaged, man. I gotta say, I'm kind of impressed. Comes with everything you need, and one bag, and of course your brackets, zip tied, your triangle brackets, and hoses. And then in the other box you get your calipers, which are loaded with pads, and from what I understand they're brand new, they're not rebuilt or anything. And in this package it automatically came with drilled and slotted rotors, which is kind of cool. Races are already pushed in, which is not a big deal. I mean, but yeah, it comes with everything but lug nuts, which of course that's not a big deal either. But I thought it was pretty nicely packaged, and the instructions are freaking amazing. I'm not sure if that's too bright for you guys or not, but 49 to 53 Ford and 52 to 53 Merc disc brake kit, and the instructions are step by step, which my buddy just did his 54 Chevy, and that was a fucking nightmare. The instructions were handwritten and nothing. We basically had a guess, and of course there was no videos online. But after doing his, I feel much more comfortable doing mine. But these instructions are freaking amazing. Guy did a good job with pictures and steps of getting everything right. Of course, you just need your common sense. Bleeder screws go up. And this is just a stock spindle kit, guys. So you'll be using your stock spindle, so you don't need to take apart any kingpin or anything like that. You just unbolt all your drum brake assembly and reuse your spindle as long as your spindle is good. Yeah, so this is the parts that we're going to be using, guys, and like I said, this is a no-name eBay buy. Can't really remember the guy, but it was not Shoebox Central. I believe this was a different guy, maybe out of his garage or something, repackaging stuff. But either way, it's a pretty nice kit. Cost about, I want to say it was around $3.90 or so, shipped to the house, plus tax, of course. eBay's making you pay tax, but yeah, just wanted to show you what we're working with here, guys. Next step, I guess, is to start taking shit apart. Okay, fellas, so I'm here, and I'm basically done with the removal. This thing was ridiculously easy. Of course, you have your spindle, nut, dust cap, then your cotter pin, your nut, wheel bearing, and then of course you pull off your drum. Now you're left with the assembly, and I just decided to leave it all alone. It's no sense in taking it off since we're going disc brake, and you're gonna have two different size nut and bolts. The top ones are for your just your drum plate. The bottom ones are bigger, and they are for your steering arm. This is just a dust cap, and you can see your steering arm down here, and it almost has like a little fork. It's really tough to see, guys, but you'll see what I'm talking about. It's almost like a little fork. So yeah, we're basically done. Let me tell you the sizes. I believe the big ones were 3/4 for sure, front and back, and then the smaller ones were 5/8 of an inch. And then those popped off pretty simple. Cotter pins were definitely beat up, but it's all good. We're going brand new with everything. But the thing I like about this kit, wow, that thing was so easy to blow apart. Of course, I haven't done my brake line yet, but that'll come. I'll probably just chop that thing off. Kit comes with a brand new one, and I'm going to have to replumb, of course, because now we're going to have a dual pot. Alright, guys. Well, guys, I got a little ahead of myself. Unfortunately, I didn't actually have the patience to film myself taking stuff apart. But let me tell you guys, this was the easiest disc brake kit I think I've ever seen or done. There's the old drum brake assembly. This was pretty damn easy to take apart. It was just four bolts and your brake hose. Once you got that apart, it literally just falls off, guys. Of course, you got to take your spindle nut off. Got to have a little bit of experience taking off your brake drums, I guess. Once you take those off, yeah, I mean, let me try to get this thing apart with one hand. Okay. I even left all my brake assembly together. I had new shoes and bearings, but of course that doesn't matter now. Anywho, yeah, just the 4 bolts. And I believe one size was 3/4. The other size was 5/8. On both ends, it was a nut and bolt. You got some cotter pins on the back and the steering. Now, let me get a light over here. It's a little dark. Okay, so this is what your shiny, brand new disc brake kit is going to look like. So let's not try to blind us here, but yeah, that's what it is. A couple of tips I wanted to give you guys. As you can see, everything is pretty loose because it's off the ground. I do have it bled already, and it's pretty awesome that it bled easy. Everything went on fine. I do have some suggestions, of course. The instructions do say to grind. You do have to do a little tiny bit of grinding, but guys, it's a small price to pay for this. I think because it's a Mercury kit, you have different measurements on this steering arm. So it hit a little bit. I'll try to get in here for you guys. So you basically gotta grind right in this area. Oh boy, this camera work is crappy. You'll see what I'm talking about. You basically gotta grind over here where the steering arm will touch the bracket. If you guys can see that, right by the bolt down there. Yeah, that little ear right there is where I had to grind. It's really hard to see now that it's put in, but right there you might be able to see my grinding marks. Anyways, that's one thing I do recommend. And another thing is, believe it or not, I actually ended up using a couple of my old bolts. It's kind of weird. I know the kit did come with them, but some of them didn't fit. Like I told you, one size was 5/8, one size was 3/4, and they only sent 1 3/4, which goes up here for the where the sleeve goes, and the top of the triangle here. The rest of them were the 5/8 size. So there is going to be one bolt about in this area. Unfortunately, guys, sorry, I have all my brakes together. But anyways, in here, you're going to need to use a nut, or I'm sorry, a washer, maybe even 2, just to space it out. Yeah, you're probably not going to be able to see that. Let me see if I can get in here. Oh, you might not be able to see that, but anyways, right there, if you could see that bolt. Oh, this is tough, guys, sorry. But anyways, yeah, you'll see what I'm talking about. There's basically the bolt on the front, or the left if you're on the driver's side. That one's going to take a lock washer or a couple of flat washers to space it out, and you'll see what I'm talking about. Yeah, there's a couple of things I wanted to make this a whole video. I know I'm sorry I didn't film me taking this apart, but I did want to give you guys some tips because I actually did the whole thing. I actually took the master apart. That's on my brake, or my brake wires sitting there. I actually went with the firewall mount, like I said, and look at that beauty. Disc drum, I went with the chrome. Proportioning valve. Now, the way I did it, guys, let me bring this light up here so you guys can see up in here. So what I did is, if you can see that, I have an actual plug on one of the front lines. If you know, this is your front, and then you got a line at the bottom. Okay, got a line at the bottom, or a line at the bottom, and you got a line here, which is supposed to be your left and your right. But I went ahead and did it as just a union, so I'm only using one port. Then for the back, of course, you need your master cylinder adapter, and then you go to the back. Now, I actually saved myself some work, and I didn't run left and a right, because if you look here, all I did was this stock line. When you take it apart, it's going to have a bolt on the top. The top bolt, believe it or not, is a banjo bolt. It's got a copper washer, and this is the line, the old line that ran to the master. This line goes to your passenger side, down under the cross member over to the passenger side. And the passenger side goes directly to your hose. Now, this is basically your union, or your T. Let's just call this a T. So what I did is I, of course, unbolted the line that went to the original master down at the chassis, and I ran a brand new line with some coils, some curlies, up to the first port. The second line, which goes in the back here, I ran down right by the steering column and back with a union to the original master cylinder location. There's another T at the master cylinder location where it basically feeds the front and feeds the back. Once you get that apart and you take out your pedal, you will see where you can basically ditch the original line up here that feeds this T, and put a union to feed from the back of the proportioning valve to the back side of the car. Got that buttoned up, and let's see. I'm going to show you my pedal now. So the kit that I bought came with a pedal assembly. It's not on the floor anymore, of course. This one is hanging. So I ran it over here, if you guys can see. Whoa. So you guys can see the hole. I basically went right to the right of that. I still have to brace it, which I actually had to cut it. If you know this style of pedal assembly, it's really simple. It's kind of nice to use. I went just to the left of the steering column, and I'm going to rerun a new pedal for the gas because I don't like that style, and I don't like it really where it sits, so I'm going to redo that with a new pedal, and I might use a different foot. When I mean foot, I mean this guy. This guy is threaded, and I mean it's just little details that I think I want to do while I'm in here. So it's just a threaded pedal that goes onto that threaded pipe on the pedal arm, and you can interchange them with a square, or you know, even a rectangle or oval, whatever you like, whatever your preference is. Okay guys, so that is what I did to complete the job. Now I do have a couple of other suggestions that before I forget and end this video. One of the things is, don't throw your spindle nuts away. You're gonna have to reuse those. And the washer, it actually came with a washer, which at first I didn't know where the hell it went. But once I put the spindle nut on, I realized, wow, that thing is sticking out a lot. So that's where you put your big washer. And the sleeves, guys, the bearing adapters, I think they call them, or the sleeves that adapt from the original spindle to the new style bearings, inner bearings, those are so easy to put on. My buddy's Chevy, we had a smack on. These literally just slipped on like a ring on your finger. It was fucking awesome. Those are cool. And the one thing I do, and I haven't finished, but I will do it, is of course you need a brake switch. And I'm probably just going to plumb it into one of these ports, probably the spare port that I didn't use. That's probably going to be the best bet there, to be honest. And don't forget your tool, guys. Here, let me get a light, because this is really important. Some guys, I guess, don't know. But after watching this video, hopefully, you know, it goes out to some people. But this is your brake warning switch, where it goes in there. Do some research on some proportioning valve videos. If you don't have this tool, which is basically just a little threaded plastic deal, it's about 10 bucks if you order one. This kit was so nice, it actually came with it, which is freaking cool. It's just a little threaded tool with a nub on it, and of course it goes into this port. This is basically a little valve that trips. When I mean trip, it means it's sliding back and forth from front to back. Now when everything is good and happy and normal, it's sitting right in the middle. There's like a little cup in there, and there's a rod that goes back and forth. Now when everything's fine, it stays in the middle. When you lose a hose or brake pressure goes down on either the back or the front, this will trip one way or another and actually close that side off, so you don't lose any more fluid. Plus, it'll actually, you're supposed to put a switch in here, and the switch goes to your dash that says brake, and it gives you a brake warning, like something's wrong with your brake, man, you might want to check. If you don't put this in and you start to try to bleed, there's a chance this thing might trip. And once it's tripped, you will not be able to bleed no matter what you try. You will have to try to get in there with a pick. There's a button in here if it trips the front. If it trips the back, I honestly, guys, don't know how you would do it. Some guys say you actually make, you almost trip the back by opening up one of the bleeder screws and actually tricking it into tripping the opposite way you want it to. Well, I don't know about that. So the first thing you want to do, guys, is if you have a tool, if you don't have one with your kit, order one. Get it and put it in. Don't even step on the pedal or do anything before putting this in. That's my 2 cents for you guys. If you guys have any questions, please go ahead and let me know. I still got a couple of things to button up. Obviously, I don't have a carburetor or, you know, my vacuum hose, but that's, you know, a given. I actually have a brand new out-of-the-box carburetor I'm going to be putting on there, which I'm pretty stoked about. Plus, I'm going to, of course, hang my fuse panel. I didn't forget about that. And, of course, probably my brake switch right here, which is what I'm going to do just to have, you know, working brakes. Alright, guys, I'm going to end this video. I appreciate you guys watching, and let me know what you guys think. Thanks.